I have verification of posting?
April 8th before 5 o'clock.
Great, thank you. Brother Greg come tonight for our invocation. Thank you so much. He's with Top Hand.
Thank y'all for the privilege to be here. Y'all pray with me. Lord, I pray that you would continue to pour out your blessings on this community. We just pause to give thanks for the rain that you've sent and the bluebonnets that we see on the countryside. Lord, I pray for the wisdom that you have given each and every man and woman here tonight. I pray that the issues would be clear and the wisdom that you give this council to lead the community strong and courageous. And Lord, may all that is done in this community honor you. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Next, can we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Haley, could you turn the volume up just a little bit online? They're having a hard time hearing it. Okay, it's all the way up.
Sounds good.
Next, I am looking for approval of the minutes of our previous meetings. We have the March 17th meeting, the March 26th meeting, and the emergency called meeting on April 2nd.
One little thing on the April 2nd meeting, I don't know if it matters that it says Kat instead of Catherine. I don't know. I go by both, but
My apologies.
no problem. I didn't see anything else, so. Anybody else? Do we need to approve them each individually?
If there's no changes, we can approve them all together, or we can approve them individually,
I think all together is fine. Yeah.
unless there's some changes that y'all
Oh,
need.
I didn't see
in
any
place. Okay.
I'll move to approve all three minutes.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next, we have public comments, and we have Roger Parks, and he is going to be speaking on item M, S, V, W, X, and Z on the agenda.
Really just two things, but I'm collecting. Thank y'all for your time. Why I'm here tonight is just very simple requests, actually. The first is regarding agenda item M. I'm in the dark on this, and I've heard rumors and stuff, so what I'm asking for is during discussion, when y'all get to that point, anybody, whoever up there wants to comment, just give some detail on this deal. From my perspective, it's difficult to understand exactly what input the city's gonna have in this. I mean, that's a state highway, Burlington Northern Santa Fe, seems like TxDOT would be driving that. So I'm, a little curious as to what the city's role is gonna be in this deal. What input you're gonna have, what obligations you may have with this. So that's all on that. Is any input you could give would be appreciated. The second thing is a simple request that extends across all the other agenda items I had listed on there. I have stated previously, and I want to reiterate, that I'm not a fan of certificates of obligation. I realize that's a tool that municipalities can use to obligate taxpayers into debt without a voice. I also recognize y'all can do that, and that you have. And in that, council has obligated the taxpayers into $7 million worth of debt, which I'm compelled to just remind, that's $350,000 a year in interest payments alone. What I'm asking for is, would y'all commit to providing transparency on exactly how this money is being spent? So what I'm formally requesting is a running budget for that certificate of obligation that y'all would post on the city's website. Just a detailed itemization, expenditures y'all have already funded, projected allocations as they become known, to be updated with real numbers once those are realized, and, a running balance. I'm hoping that y'all will be above board and just show the taxpayers where you're spending this money that y'all have obligated them to already. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. All right, let's get to business. Next on the agenda, we have the consent agenda items. Is there anything anybody saw in the consent agenda that they would like to pull and talk about? Sorry. Okay. Y'all good? All right, I would like to say a couple of things. First of all, I received this last week, both Mr. McDowell and I did an email, and I've asked permission to read it. I always like to point out when our staff does something good and is recognized. So he emailed me and said, "Hi, I had a need last week and stopped by City Hall to ask the office for help. And Taylor took my request, got it handled, and then sent me a text to make sure my need was handled. What a great improvement in customer care at City Hall. Thanks, Rick." So, Taylor, thank you very much for taking care of the need and then texting back to make sure they were handled. That's great customer service. I'd also like to thank all our staff for all the hard work they've been doing, from our Public Works Department that worked 24/7 for a few days while we had the well out. That was unexpected, but so glad that they've gotten that up and running, and they did that along with all the other things they had to do. So we appreciate that, and I want to recognize that and say thank you. And then I want to thank our office staff. They have begun to pull everything together, and I'd like to say by the beginning of next week, we will have a fully staffed City Hall. Berta is back from her leg surgery, and she's doing good, and she talked with me this morning and wanted to thank each one of y'all also for being patient with her, and she is ready to get things up and going and back on course. We will have 2 new employees in the front office. The temperament of the office is wonderful. Everybody's working together. They have taken their duties, divided them up, and are ready to get to work. Now, with that, there's always some bumps down the road. There's going to be some training we're going to do for everybody. We are still working on the audit, and we'll have more information for you next month on that. We just ended our mid-year, so as y'all can see in your budgets, it's through April 10th, so your percentages will be a little different than it would just at 50%, but as you notice, everything is quite right on point. Our property taxes are in at 87% already. I've talked to the tax office, and they're thinking we'll probably have over 100% by the end of budget, and I said, how do you get over 100%? And that's with everybody that has to pay the late fees. So I said, okay. Also, our sales tax is up, and that's something we're happy about. So next month, we will have our new finance manager come in and give us a presentation, sort of an overview. I would ask that if there's anything that y'all would like to see in particular, to let us know, and Cassie will make sure to report on that. She's gonna have a fairly general presentation at first, but she will be explaining some things that we've been having to do at City Hall. So Cassie Williams is our new financial manager. Taylor Zulke is our new city secretary. Ashley Williams is our utility clerk, and we have one more starting on Monday. I'll put you on the box. I put you on the spot.
I was thinking three.
Okay, I'm sorry, but we will. So we will be
Emily Spear, thank you.
Emily Spear.
Sorry, Emily.
So she just hasn't been in the office yet for us to get to know her. So everything is going great, and I appreciate the council's patience in us getting this all going. So, do y'all have any questions? All right, so we'll just move along to agenda item C, and that's discussion and possible action regarding the Bosque Artisan request of $4,000 from Hotel Motel for their Wichita Lineman tribute to Glenn Campbell on Saturday, May 2nd, 2006. Deb Finney, I believe, is here to present that.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me, or I hope that's right. If I could just take one tiny second and thank the city. We had a huge trash problem after our event this past weekend, and I called in and asked if someone could come and help us out, and they came and did it, and we all appreciated it very much because it was a mess, and you helped us clean it up, so thank you for that. Now, back to Wichita Lineman, that's a tribute concert. Carl Acuff Jr. will be our performer that night. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We've asked for $4,000 again because we're again offering our partner package with the Velcoman Inn to try to bring out-of-town guests in and to put them up at the hotel. And so it costs us just a little bit more money for advertising to be able to do that. We do some TV in order to promote this over in the Waco area besides all our other outlets here in Central Texas. So I'm asking for $4,000, and I would appreciate your approval of that.
Do y'all have any questions for Deb? If not, I would entertain a motion.
I believe I got a form for that in my packet.
Yes, it's back behind the budget.
Okay.
Oh. There's the original.
How many, I can't remember from the last time, how many people participated in the?
Last time, we actually had 4 couples that signed up for it. One of them canceled because the weather was really bad that week. But we keep gaining more people the more we offer it.
Yeah. Well, I move that we approve the Bosque Art Center request for $4,000 from Hotel Motel.
And I second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Deb.
And come see the Wichita Lineman if you remember Glenn Campbell songs.
All right, next on the agenda is discussion and possible action on receiving $6,000 from the Hotel Motel tax for the Clifton Rodeo on June 5th and 6th, 2026. This is hosted by the Chamber of Commerce, and Paige Key is here tonight to present it.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you today. I am here to request $6,000 from the hotel occupancy tax to support the Clifton Chamber Rodeo scheduled for June 5th and 6th. This year, we're celebrating our 75th year. For the past 5 years, the Clifton Chamber has taken on the responsibility of producing this popular event after the Horse Show Association decided to step back. I'm proud to share that in 2022, our efforts were recognized when we received the New Rodeo of the Year award from State of Texas Fair. The Clifton Chamber Rodeo has become a significant attraction in our community, drawing over 600 attendees each night for the 2-night event. This event not only fosters community spirit, but also stimulates our local economy In 2024, we booked 33 rooms at Velcoman Inn on Friday night and 30 rooms on Saturday night. In 2025, those numbers were strong as well, with 27 rooms on Friday and 37 rooms on Saturday. The funding we are requesting, will help ensure the continued success of the rodeo, allowing us to enhance our programming and provide an unforgettable experience in both participants and spectators. Thank you for considering our request. Your support is invaluable in helping us make this year's Clifton 75th Rodeo a success for all in our community and local businesses.
Thank you. Do y'all have any questions?
Oh, I don't really have a question. It's more of a, we've discussed this a little bit. A councilman of the past requested a few years ago that we cap our hotel motel at 4,500, but then I was informed, because that was my memory, that we never made that, we never voted on it. So, I mean, with this request, this is just more of a comment for the future, that I'm not saying that we do that at this time, but just that it's something that we should talk about, that in future meetings that we think about how much we're giving each organization. And I know this happened and the person felt singled out when they were here when it happened the last time, I think, but.
I have come up with numbers that I ask for yearly. We usually ask for the bike rally that's in May, 4,000. We do the rodeo, we've been asking for 6,000. And the Norwegian Christmas, which is in December, we asked for 4, but last year was an exception. We received 6,000 because we had an extended 5-day event. And we did a lot of advertising because we brought in the Norwegian chefs and musicians.
And I think the rodeo is it's valuable to our community. And I mean, obviously when you have 30, that's probably the largest event we have that people are actually staying in the hotel.
Actually, the bike rally fills it
has more.
completely up, and the downtown Screen Door Inn and B&Bs in the
Yeah.
area.
So
I mean, a lot of them even have to stay in Waco when we do the bike rally.
that's true. So just more of a comment for the future, because we can't really be together and talk about these things
Right.
except here. So it's just more of something for us to think about, but not necessarily on this specific agenda item.
We do bring in a lot of people from out of town, and they do spend a lot of money.
I think it's more directed at council. than-
Yes.
This is more
Right.
a
We
directed
just-
at council, not at the individual, so it's.
Yeah.
And we have discussed this, and we might bring something to the council. David's going to work on that. And in our department head meeting, Haley had talked to other cities, and to come up with some sort of formula that, because hotel motel, if you look at the statutes, heads and beds. So we'd come up with a formula, and to help the organizations and to help council to keep up with this, we might be an annual ask. So you come and these are all my events and this is what I need, and there's a formula for that, and we'll have to cap it how much we give each organization. You know, if there's a new organization that comes to town, not comes to town, but, not bad. The American Legion, I think, last year, they had never come before, and so we would have something in there for that, for a new organization to help to help seed the project. And then another thing we talked about is there's a difference because not only do you support, this hotel motel fund support events, it also can help support projects. So we would have to look at both of those. But I mean, it would be good. We're not sure yet if the hotel motel in the budget is accurate. Things haven't been inputted all in there yet. So if it is, we're low this year. If it's not, we hope to have a better number. next month. So that's just,
What does it say?
Paige, sorry.
And I understand because I was here back when we used to come in October every year, and we gave you a budget, and we said, this is what we're gonna spend on each of our events for the whole year. So I understand.
So, anyway,
So was it 6,000 last year that you?
The rodeo, I only got
The rodeo.
4
Okay.
last year.
y'all have any other questions for Paige?
No, thanks, Paige.
And what was currently in the, that we know? in the
Well,
hotel motel? I know
Um,
you said it's not,
And the hotel motel fund,
yes, hotel motel.
the mayor has that fund.
I do. We have in the bank 128,000, but that's not what we laid this year. That's what's in the line item. I was trying to think what it says in the budget that we accumulated, but y'all can look at that.
Do you have any thoughts? Given that we never voted on anything, and that there's so many people that come and actually stay in the hotel, I'm fine with this ask at this time. So I move that we approve $6,000 from the hotel motel for Clifton Rodeo.
I'll second.
Who was the second?
I'll do less. Is that good? Is that you? I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you very much. Paige.
Thank you, council, I appreciate it.
Next is F, discussion and possible action in regards to the designation of an authorized representative sponsors, B.C. Bennett, Jack.
This one.
Was that E?
Yeah, E.
Oh, guys, I'm so sorry. Discussion and possible action regarding Resolution 260414-1 for the airport layout plan, the City of Clifton Municipal Eisenhower Field.
Before she reads that resolution, basically, we were selected for $350,000 grant for the airport through TxDOT. So this is just a protocol. We have to do a resolution. And then, of course, the next agenda item, we select some board members also. So I'll have Taylor read the resolution.
Okay. Resolution 260416-1, whereas the City of Clifton, Texas intends to make certain improvements to City of Clifton Municipal Eisenhower Field, and whereas the general description of the project is described as Airport Layout Plan, ALP, update with narrative, and whereas the City of Clifton, Texas intends to request financial assistance from the Texas Department of Transportation for these improvements, and whereas total project costs are estimated to be $350,000, and the City of Clifton, Texas will be responsible for 5% of the total project cost, currently estimated to be $17,500. And whereas the City of Clifton, Texas names the Texas Department of Transportation as its agent for the purposes of applying for, receiving, and dispersing all funds for these improvements, and for the administrative of contracts necessary for the implementation of these improvements. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the City of Clifton, Texas hereby directs the city administrator to execute on behalf of the City of Clifton, Texas, at the appropriate time and with the appropriate authorizations of this governing body, all contracts and agreements with the state of Texas represented by the Texas Department of Transportation and such other parties as shall be necessary and appropriate for the implementation of the improvements to City of Clifton Municipal Eisenhower Field.
All right, looking for a motion.
Can I make a motion that we approve Resolution 260414-1 for the airport layout plan for the City of Clifton Municipal Eisenhower Field?
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right, item F is discussion and possible action in regard to the designation of authorized representative sponsors, BC Bennett, Jack Cameron, Jeff Ross, Bill Klein, and Shane Adane to the Consultant Committee for the Airport Layout Plan. Tim got called out on business, literally, so David's going to explain this a
I'll
little
brief,
bit.
what this is just it's not the Airport Advisory Committee, but it's just another advisory committee that would say, okay, we would like this, can you implement this? These are the guys that are at the airport all the time anyway. I know that several of them are pilots, and several of them have been pilots, so they know the ins and outs of the airport. And what they will be advising is, okay, well, maybe we want this on this side of the airport, because this is going to be basically working with engineers from TxDOT. And what this plan is to implement the airports, kind of like a master plan for the next 20 years. They had one done roughly about 20 years ago, and to get any more grants through TxDOT, we have to have these implementations. And so, anyway, these are just more of an advisory. The city still has the last say in everything, but these are just an advisory committee to help us make some of these decisions. Did I explain that? Okay.
Y'all have any questions? If not, I would entertain a motion.
A couple notes, just Jack Cameron, his last name, on the agenda,
And it's supposed to be Bill Klein.
an E on the end.
Klein.
It just says C-A-M-R-E. That's what that is. I move that we approve the designation of authorized representative sponsors BC Bennett, Jack Cameron, Jeff Ross, Bill Kleine, and Shane Adane to the Consultant Committee for the Airport Layout Plan.
I second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Next is G, Resolution 260414-2 on CDBG grant, changing signatory mayor and city secretary. No. Yes.
I feel like the editing police tonight. I'm really sorry. But on the resolution, it says CLIFTION. Clifton.
Oh, it's Clifton. Clifton.
No, Lewis is backing down on his job.
Lewis is pretty good about that.
I'm sorry that I'm.
No, you're good. We'll change that. Thank you.
So we just need to change.
All
the
we're
names.
doing is just changing it to basically say city secretary and city mayor. We're not putting any specific names on there.
That was something discussed in the department head meeting, that it's just smoother because these grants can go for several years. Names change, and then it has to go through council again to change names, and so it's just much easier to say the mayor and the city secretary. So that's what we're asking tonight.
I move to approve resolution 260414-2 on CDBG grant changing signatory, mayor and city secretary.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Next is H, discussion and possible action in regards to Resolution 260414-3 for the approval of Cassie Williams and Taylor Zulke to access text pool accounts.
Taylor, you want to read that?
Sure.
It's got your name in it.
Resolution 260414-3 A resolution by the City of Clifton, Texas, approving certain individuals to access and conduct transactions with taxable accounts. Whereas the City of Clifton, Texas maintains investment accounts with TexPool, a local government investment pool authorized under the laws of the state of Texas. And whereas it is necessary to designate authorized representatives to manage and conduct transactions on behalf of the city with respect to its TexPool accounts. And whereas the City Council desires to authorize Cassie Williams and Taylor Zulke as designated representatives for such purposes. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Clifton, Texas, Section 1, that Cassie Williams and Taylor Zulke are hereby authorized to as representatives of the city to access, manage, and conduct transactions related to the city's taxable accounts, including but not limited to deposits, withdrawals, and account inquiries. Section 2, that these individuals are authorized to act on behalf of the city in accordance with taxable requirements and applicable laws and policies of the city. Section 3, that the city secretary or any other appropriate officials is hereby authorized to provide taxable with any documentations necessary to effectuate this authorization. Section 4, this resolution shall take effect immediately upon its passage and approval.
Okay, so this is just to help when people are on vacation or to get things done. Both David and I are on that account, and that'll just give the city secretary and the finance manager access also.
I move we approve Resolution 260414-3.
And I second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right, I, Resolution 260414-4 for approving the 2024 version of the Drought Contingency Plan.
Okay, for the next three resolutions, we put both of those three in front of y'all, and it's the 2024, so say 2024 drought resolution. We've had, this will be approved through Water Development Board. Our engineer's been working on it. It's roughly the same as what it's been in the past. It's just including Meridian on a few of them because they are a water user of the city of Clifton. And it's just updating some wording and just putting just some other wording for engineer speak in the drought contingencies. And if y'all have any more questions, you can ask Craig, but he said that,
I read through it all, but I just trusted Craig that it
It was riveting, wasn't it?
I was like, wow.
yeah, that's not exciting.
It's not.
Go ahead, Taylor.
Resolution 260414-4, a resolution by the City of Clifton, Texas, approving the 2024 version of the drought contingency. Whereas the City Council finds that it is in the public's interest to approve the drought contingency plan. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Clifton, Texas, that procedures and requirements of the water conservation plan shall be implemented by city staff under the direction of city administrator. This resolution shall take effect immediately from and after its passage and the publication of the caption, as the law in such cases provide, open meetings, that it is hereby officially found and determined that the meeting at which resolution is passed was open to the public as required, and that public notice of the time, place, and purpose of said meeting was given as required by the Open Meeting Act, Chapter 551, Local Government Codes.
All right, I entertain a motion unless there's questions.
I make a motion that we approve Resolution 260414-4.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Next is J, Resolution 260414-5 for approving the 2024 version of the Water Conservation Plan for retail.
It's
Same
same,
thing.
it's same thing. I mean, it's basically the retail sale of water to our people in Clifton. Wholesale will be Meridian, that'll be next.
And these are all required
These are all requirements, correct?
through
Water Development Board.
TCEQ.
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 Okay.
After the passing of here, it has to be resubmitted to TCEQ for their approval.
So we're not just doing this.
They're very stringent on these, which it needs to be, and, yeah.
I'd like to make the motion that we,
But we need to
Yeah,
read it.
she's got to read it.
Resolution 260414-5, a resolution by the City of Clifton, Texas approving the 2024 version of the Water Conservation Plan for retail, whereas the City Council finds that it is in the public interest to approve the Retail Water Conservation Plan. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Clifton, Texas, that procedures and requirements of the Water Conservation Plan shall be implemented by city staff under direction of city administrator. This resolution shall take effect immediately from and after its passage and the publication of the caption, as the law in such cases provide. Open meetings, that it hereby officially found and determined that the meeting at which resolution is passed was open to the public as required, and that public notice of the time, place, and purpose of said meeting was given as required by the Open Meeting Act, Chapter 551, Local Government Code.
Thank you.
okay, now I'd like to make the motion that we approve resolution 260414-5.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. K, resolution number 260414-6 for approving the 2024 version of the Water Conservation Plan for wholesale.
Resolution 260414-6, a resolution by the City of Clifton, Texas approving the 2024 version of the Water Conservation Plan for wholesale. Whereas the City Council finds that it is in the public interest to approve the Water Conservation Plan for wholesale use. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Clifton, Texas, that procedures and requirements of the Water Conservation Plan shall be implemented by city staff under direction of city administrator. This resolution shall take effect immediately from and after its passage and the publication of the caption, as the law in such cases provide. Open meetings, that it hereby officially found and determined that the meeting at which resolution is passed was open to the public as required, and that public notice of the time, place, and purpose of said meeting was given as required by the Open Meeting Act, Chapter 551, Local Government Code.
I move to approve resolution number 260414-6.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
A second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. L, discussion and possible action regarding the appointment of Haley Sanders as the city's Historic Preservation Officer. Do you want me to talk about
Go
it?
ahead. You can talk about it.
We have a historical, under Main Street, we have a Historical Preservation Commission, and it has its own board. And normally, the Main Street manager is the Historical Preservation Officer on that. So we're just looking tonight to go ahead and appoint her as the Preservation Officer. And she's here if y'all have any questions for her. hearing over the monitor.
I can go up there.
If not, I'd entertain a motion.
I move we appoint Haley Sanders as the city's historical preservation officer.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Just that I know some people that are going to be glad someone's going to be answering those emails. They've been asking me about it.
Good. She's able and willing. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Moving on to M, discussion and possible action regarding awarding AECom the FRA Railroad Crossing Elimination Grant Study for planning and engineering services.
We ended up with two bids. These were sealed bids. It's a grant, it's a study for $350,000. It's a 5-year study is what this is. So this is a federal grant. This is through the railroad tracks are federal. And so TxDOT will be working with AECom or whoever y'all decide on. And basically what it is, it's the engineers to decide if we're going to go up, over, under the railroad tracks, or they might decide it's not even feasible to do anything. So they're also looking at possible, looking at railroad closures railroad crossing closures and see what are dangerous intersections and all that. But 219 is definitely not it's a main thoroughfare. They want to make sure it's open and does not block traffic. I mean, this is a grant that we have talked to y'all about. We got Goodall Witcher is putting in money, the city, and Sunset Home. So what this is, like I said, it's not something that we're just jumping right into because we don't know what it's going to be like. You got 219 that will be paved. TxDOT will start that process here shortly. TxDOT's been on the process, and they will continue to be on the process. So right now, this is just a study that has nothing to do with any construction or anything. So this is a 5-year study.
And if I'm correct, another asset to this grant is flood mitigation.
It brings to it some flood mitigation. They will take a look at the water, whatever our water runoff is through the downtown area. But yes, we'll take a look at some mitigation also on that. But Roger, as you were saying, it's basically just it's just a 5-year study, and it's going to be the engineers will be involved, and they will let the city know what is feasible, and then we'll go with it from there. May not be feasible at all. So, but this is a grant that's study for the FRA. Tell me what FRA stands for.
Federal Railroad.
Federal Railroad, thank you. Do you want to add anything to this? Because Haley's been working this grant. And she's
over a year.
And she's doing a good job working with these. So what we would like to propose is that AECom would get the management on this grant. There was 2 bids. It was HDR. Both companies could do the project. AECom has more offices closer, and I think they would do a good job. Either company would do a good job. We'd recommend AECom. The way we scored them, it was myself, Haley Sanders, Craig Wickman, and Louis Stansel. And so we scored them on a scale from 0 to 100. I think they came in at 99. The other one came in like 97 or 96. So both companies are good. But AECom, we felt they're closer, and we felt like they would do a better job. Haley, do you got anything you want to add on that?
Yeah, I just want to add that this grant, with it being a study, there will be some community input when that time comes. We are still in the very beginning stages of hiring that planning company and engineering firm, so whichever HCR, AECom, whoever council decides to go with, they will help us, I say us, city staff, conduct some community forums on the railroad, the crossing, all of that stuff. So there will be more opportunity for community input during this grant and this study.
And Haley, correct me if I'm wrong, but this discussion for the railroad crossing. It's not, what are we calling it? It's-
Elimination.
Elimination, has been going on for over a year.
Yes. yeah,
Because I remember before even the election, we were discussing this.
Yes, actually, Rick Douglas and Weston kind of helped us in the beginning of the beginning stages of getting that grant started and helping us with that from a community standpoint. And then the hospital was very happy to financially help us with that, along with the Sunset Home and then our city match, to kind of get a study together, get some community input, and yeah, we're just going from there.
Yeah, the concerns with the hospital, the fire department, and we've asked several, is the emergency vehicles crossing the railroad when the train is coming across. And so, sometimes if somebody's having a heart attack or something like that, and they need to get to the hospital, and you're stopped at the railroad tracks, there's not a whole lot you can do. So basically, they're looking at just the elimination of the crossing, possibly a quiet zone, and taking a look at anything that would eliminate waits at the railroad.
So it's just a study.
Yes, this is just a study. No, they're not doing any construction right now. This is just a study.
So just to clarify, after the study's complete, would the decision to move forward come back to council?
Absolutely, absolutely. A lot of this stuff will come, there'll probably be a lot within the study that will come to council anyway before the end. But yes, the end result, because it's gonna have to go to the feds anyway to get another grant on top of that for the construction project. I believe the city of Ennis did it, and it transformed their downtown, and it looks really nice. So it could be transformational. At the same time, they might say there's an impossibility, we can't do this, so. But we recommend AE.
Do you have anything else to?
Any questions? I'll entertain a motion.
Move we award AECom the FRA Railroad Crossing Elimination Grant Study for planning and engineering services.
I second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. On N, discussion and possible action regarding the interlocal agreement between Bosque County and the city of Clifton for elections.
We do this every year, council. This is just the joint agreement between us and Bosque County. So they use our facilities for voting, so it's just, we go through this every year. So if you want to take a look at it, it's basically the same language. And then the mayor will sign it, I will sign it, Cindy Van Lanning and Zach Brown will sign it.
I move we approve the interlocal agreement between Bosque County and the city of Clifton for elections.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Are there any further questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item O, discussion and possible action in regards to moving the May 12th, 2026 council meeting to May 26th, 2026. We're asking for this because there will be 3 out that night. I will be gone, Kat will be gone, and Rustin will be out also. It was a perfect storm.
That's graduation.
And you got graduation. Okay. Could be everybody.
So how does May 26th look for everybody? That would also be when post-election, so we would be swearing in any new council members.
Is the 26th a Tuesday?
Yes.
It's right after Memorial Day.
Tuesday after
Okay, yes.
Memorial.
just entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we move the May 12th council meeting to May 26th, 2026.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item P is discussion and possible action regarding the resignation of the Honorable Judge Jeff Hightower. If you'll see in your packets.
We hate to see the judge go, but we're fixing to swear in another judge. So, but we appreciate Jeff's tenure to the city. He's done a great job. He's an honorable and a fine man, and he feels right now that it would be the best to administer his resignation.
I move we approve the resignation of the Honorable Judge Jeff Hightower.
And I second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right, next is discussion and possible action of swearing in the Honorable Judge Michelle Valdez for the City of Clifton's municipal judge.
Michelle, you want to come to the front? The mayor will administer the oath of office.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Michelle Valdez,
I, Michelle Valdez,
do solemnly swear or affirm that I will
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of the office of municipal court,
the duties in the office of municipal court,
City of Clifton of the State of Texas,
City of Clifton, the state of Texas,
and will, to the best of my ability, preserve,
and to the best of my abilities to preserve,
protect, and defend the Constitution
protect, and defend the Constitution
and the laws of the United States
and
Go ahead.
and the laws of the United States
and of this state,
and of this state.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you very much.
There's one more, Mayor. There's one more in there too, I think, right behind that.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. We haven't practiced this. I, Michelle Valdez,
I, Michelle Valdez,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I have not directly or indirectly paid,
I have not directly or indirectly paid,
offered, promised to pay, or contributed,
offered, promised to pay, or contributed,
or promised to contribute any money
or promised to contribute any money
or thing of value,
or thing of value,
or promised any public office or employment
or promised any public office or employment
as a reward to secure my appointment
of the award to secure my appointment
or confirmation thereof,
of confirmation thereof.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle.
Okay. Congratulations. Thank you very much, Judge. Item F is the discussion and possible action discussion and possible action appointing Cassie Williams as city treasurer. So, go ahead.
I was going to say, we have to have a city treasurer, and so she is our new finance manager, so we just thought it would be appropriate to go ahead and appoint her as our treasurer.
I move we appoint Cassie Williams as the city treasurer.
Second that.
I have a motion, and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. S on the agenda. Discussion regarding the What S?
Yeah, it does.
There's so many items.
Yeah, that's right, sorry.
Okay. Discussion regarding the CO, Certificate of Obligation, projects and possible cost relating to each one.
Craig, the floor is yours. Craig's done a good job putting this together, putting the slide presentation together. Just want to kind of give you all a brief overview of what we got going on with the CO, and to show y'all, if y'all have any questions for Craig or myself, hopefully we can be able to answer these. We don't know some of these costs currently because they will be going out for bid, and we're still waiting on construction documents. But we're going to give you kind of a range and a possible timeline of kind of what we're looking at on when these are looking to take place. So, floor is yours, Greg.
Council, just to let y'all know that we are at the very start of this project, and it's probably gonna last 2 to 3 years, so a lot of the projects that we've got started or finished are just the minor projects. So, I've got a PowerPoint here. First, we'll start off with the water and well system. This will include motor mill pump station and well projects that we've done. This is the motor mill. You may recognize it's a small building down by the railroad tracks. This is where our booster pumps for this side of town is. Part of this project, from what we can tell, this building was probably built in the 20s. So there's a lot of electrical and equipment in there that's either from the 1920s or 1960s. This is where the booster pump was supposed to be. And at some point in time, it was removed. And this is an old pump that was probably taken out of service 50 years ago, and it was still there. So anytime we did any kind of electrical work down here, you basically had to stand on top of that motor or stand over the top of it to be able to get to the electrical panels. And this is my guys demoing out some old pump bases and getting ready for some cleanup and some paint. This is the electrical from the 60s and 20s. This is kind of before and after what the building looks like now.
Can't you like that before?
You like the colors?
And you didn't tear out those doors, thank you.
Well, the bathroom's still there too, so.
Looks lovely.
But it was in need of being cleaned up, and I don't think there's been anything done to that since probably the original construction, so.
And with, can I reiterate, Craig, too, then with these CO projects, what we want to do is we want these these refurbishments to be here for the next 20 to 30, 40 years, because we know we got plenty of use out of the 1920s stuff, so.
We've still got more work to do in here.
Yes.
This is the other side of the building. This is the electrical. You can tell that the pump motor's been removed, and a lot of the old electrical has been removed. And as of now, some of the electrical has been replaced, put back into, let me just get back, updated and ready to start operating the new pump. There's also a section of piping in the floor that we're going to have to look at replacing. Next part of the project we got is, this is the motor mill pump. Replace the piping in the floor structure of the pump building and replace the isolation valve coming off the storage tank. This piping has been there since either the 50s or 20s, or we found maps that have this building in place back in the 20s. So. The next project that Josh and the guys have got completed, the building on the right is basically what the old chlorine rooms look like. And on the left-hand side, that's the new dual scale chlorinators with the new injection equipment. All of these have been installed. Previously, whenever we'd have a bottle that was going low, we would have to pull people in on the weekend to replace the bottles. Now we can make it through the weekend without having to change the bottle, because these automatically switch from one bottle to the next. Our next project, this is a project it's gonna take a while to get started. We're in the process of drawing up construction documents for it now. Hopefully in the next 2 to 3 months, we'll be going out for bid. And then installation should begin within 6 to 8 months of that. And this will basically last through the entirety of all the CO projects, because this will tie everything together at the end. And we don't have hard numbers as far as pricing right now. We're basically operating off of estimates that our engineers give us. So there is a pretty good range in price. Hopefully it comes in at the lower range.
Worst case scenario is 1.5 million with some of your larger plants that they've done, and we're hoping it comes in around 600 to 800,000 from that. And basically what this will do, this has a system that talks to the other systems.
And this system, I've got it listed as, this is the skate underneath the water system, and the price is actually a combined price of the water and wastewater systems.
I don't remember if you remember, Councilman Kennedy, that this was the one that if we were shut down, it would shut down the plant. And so.
Stressful.
Yes, it's very stressful for the
I couldn't
guys.
sleep after you all said that. I was like, oh my gosh.
And it's stressful for the guys because they have to run everything manually. So.
What is it it's 15 minutes or something, somebody'd have to press the
Yeah,
button?
basically, it's every 15 minutes for 24 hours a day until you get it fixed. The next project we've got that is also the process of having construction drawings done is what we call the clear well. And the clear well is actually a ground storage tank. It's not a well, so that's what some people may be confused by. But this is one of the projects that we have been called out by TCEQ. There is some deterioration of the lid or the roof of it. And this will have to be done during the cooler weather, because this tank will actually affect us in Clifton, but it'll also affect Meridian also, because their water goes through this tank. So we'll have to do it during the time of the year that it's cooler and less watering happening.
What was the estimate on that, Greg?
I believe the estimate on it is right at $600,000.
I'll let council know that this is in the contract with the city of Meridian. They would be responsible for 10% of these. Anything that has to do with the water plant, Meridian would be responsible for 10%.
This is out in the surface water plant.
This is the fun stuff.
This is what we consider our filter. There's actually 2 of these out there. Again, this is one of the projects. It takes a while to get all these documents drawn up and go out for bid, but hopefully within the next couple of months. This is one of them that's going to be also depending on weather or time of year it's done. Anything that comes from the surface plant is basically considered supplement water for us. So we don't want to do these jobs during the heat of the summer.
The estimate on that's 250 to 400.
Yeah. And part of the reason of the range here is we cannot empty the contents out of these filters because that's where our filter media is. So it's basically they have to come in and shut the filter down, empty the filter media out, and then they can determine exactly what's going to have to be done at the bottom. This is Kat's favorite here. This is the wastewater treatment rehab. This is just a picture of the outside. I didn't include any interior pictures. Again, it'll have the SCADA system, and it's basically the same time frame. The SCADA system for the water plant and the PLCs are they're basically all interconnected. I mean, it's that's what ties the whole system together. And again, the cost on that That's a combined price with the water system too. And a lot of that's gonna be, a lot of the variation in price is due to the system that we have is 25 years old, and being able to get it converted over to what will work with new technology.
This is my favorite part.
Yes. This is the mechanical equipment inside the plant that's gonna have to be replaced. Belt press and bar screen. It will be replaced with a newer technology. It's called the screw press.
Could you describe what happens there? I'm just kidding.
I'll give you a tour if you want.
You don't want pictures, do you? Okay, thank you.
You need to go.
This should be ready to go out for bid in 2 to 3 months, if not sooner, hopefully sooner. Because the lead time on this piece of equipment is gonna be 6 to 8 months for construction. Okay, here's a few slides on the new pool. This was when they started demo on the new pool and removing the old liner out of the pool. Everything to do with the pool is basically, it's removed. This is whenever they were removing the concrete. This is basically when they started reconstructing the pool. This is what it looks like underground. It's the amount of piping that it takes to operate this pool. And it's basically like that on all 4 sides. So. Some examples of the rebar that was put into the pool. This pool should have a whole lot more circulation than what our old pool did. You'll notice that over on the right-hand side, there's pipes coming up out of the bottom of the pool. It will actually have pool inlets in the bottom of the pool. And now we're in the process of, we've got the gunite sprayed. I think it took 320 yards of gunite. Here's another picture of gunite.
I went and saw the coping and the tile this morning. It looks really good.
Yeah. And that's all the slides I've got.
Thank you for all the pictures.
Thank you.
Are there any questions that anybody has, or?
Well, I'd like to thank y'all for all your hard work. Rustin and I came in the middle of this CO discussion, and for anybody that doesn't know, there was a bond project, and I actually worked for the city back when we did the reservoir and the water treatment and sewer plant. And for 25 years, not a lot was done. Repairs were done to keep it up and running, but not a lot was done. And when I came in, I learned that something we had repaired had to buy the part off eBay. So it was time. And so I want to commend staff for getting the CO together. It worked at a perfect time for the city because the bond that paid for the water sewer plant was actually paid off in November, and that was when the CO started. So yes, the CO is obligated funds to the city, but the city will not feel that because it'll be the same payments, actually a little less than what we initially had. And it will get us a new pool, which our pool would have closed this year. It would not have been able to be open anymore, literally being held together by duct tape. Water and sewer, we couldn't get parts anymore. So it was a much needed project, and I think all the citizens will be happy to be able to flush their toilets, to wash their clothes, and to swim in our new pool. So thank you on that. And Do y'all have any other questions for Craig?
No, I appreciate, I had, asked that we see what we've already done and what our future projects are, and I would love, to have that compile, like, I would love those things, like, in a document somehow to see, just to help keep track as we're talking about it. It's hard for me to remember every single, I will always remember the screw press, but other than that, I can't remember everything. So I need to have a document of some kind would be really helpful, so.
We can bring you on an update about every 6 months to kind of let you know
Yeah.
where we're at and just what we've accomplished, and just show you some more pictures of what we got going on.
Yeah, I think everybody needs to go on a tour.
Yes.
Of the water and sewer
Water and
plant?
sewer plant.
I haven't been there since the opening. When Trim and Blum
If you haven't
cut the
been,
ribbon.
you need to go.
It's very interesting.
Field trip.
Yes, field trip.
Thank you, Craig.
Yes,
you.
thank you, Craig. Next, item T is discussion and possible action regarding the EDC's retraction of funds for the city downtown parking plan. Weston Gloff, the chairman of the EDC board, is here to talk with y'all.
Hello, council. As you know, at our regular EDC meeting on December the 17th, the board gave tentative approval for a $300,000 grant for the downtown parking project. At our most recent meeting on March 18th, rather than certifying the grant, the board voted unanimously to rescind its tentative approval. I'm here this evening for two reasons. First, our EDC manual, which this council approves, requires the president to notify you when a project with tentative approval will not be certified. Second, both the mayor and city administrator asked me to provide some context behind the board's decision. At the December meeting, David presented the project just like he did here at y'all's December 7th council meeting. The estimated cost was over $650,000. Overall, the project received positive feedback. Board members and others appreciated the proposed improvements to Avenue C, additional parking on Avenue E near the Kinfolk and the Car Museum, improved accessibility for fire trucks and other emergency vehicles, and of course, the addition of the Bruce Green sculpture on Main Street. However, the primary concerns from the board and the community feedback was the reduction of parking on Main Street, Avenue D, between 5th Street, which is 219, and 3rd Street, which runs there by Olaf's. Currently, that stretch of road has 66 total spaces, which includes 3 handicapped, so 63 unrestricted spaces. The plan presented at our December meeting reduced that number to 38 total spaces, 8 of which were handicapped, so leaving just 30 unrestricted spots. Since then, I've seen a couple of concepts. One version shows approximately 41 unrestricted spaces using some compact-only parking spots, while another reflects closer to 50 unrestricted spaces along with 4 handicap spots. At our March meeting, Rick Douglas and Ed Reiser both spoke during public comment period, asking the board to rescind its tentative approval. At that time, the Douglases owned 5 downtown properties, and of course, the Reiser family operates several businesses in the area. Their concern, and the one the board took seriously, is that there's a threshold where reducing parking on Main Street begins to negatively impact downtown businesses and ultimately the broader Clifton economy. The question becomes, how much reduction in parking is too much? Is it 50%? Is it 20%? What is that number? Mr. Douglas and Mr. Reiser asked the board to pause funding until a qualified parking consultant could evaluate the plan and provide a study on the potential economic impact, both under current conditions and in the future, especially if the vacant or underutilized buildings attract more downtown traffic. After considering this input, the board ultimately agreed and voted to rescind its approval. Do y'all have any questions for me? I know she's on our board, Tom Blossom's here, he's on our board, but I'm happy to try to answer any questions you may have.
You want to talk about what they had suggested about the phases?
You bet. It's my opinion that the EDC remains open to supporting a downtown improvement project. I believe the board would like to see the results of a professional study before reconsidering funding. Additionally, based on the discussion at our last meeting, I think there may be more openness to contributing towards an individual phased project rather than what we talked about last time, which is, it is a phased project, but we were kind of giving funding for the project as a whole. And so I think the board would like to see a study and would like to see the funding broke down in phases. That's just my opinion. Again, I can't speak for the entire board, but that's kind of what I got from our last meeting.
Kat, do you want to say anything?
No, I agree. Well, no, and then yes, I do. I agree with your synopsis. I think the EDC sees their place in the funding, like they're pro the phased funding because mayors, city administrators, all of these things can change and ideas can change. And even though we'd be wrapped into like we're funding this parking project to give that huge sum of money unrestricted, sort of, I think that was a concern for the EDC.
Do y'all have any questions? Weston and I and Mr. Douglas and I have had conversations. You know, the phase project C needs to be done. I think it'll be great to have some extra parking. Some questions have come, will people park on C? Well, I've had somebody come to me and like to form a little I Parked on C campaign, and we will bring that when we get that all put together, just as encouragement for people to park on C. What we're looking at tonight is this Kimley Horn project. Thank you, Weston. Is this Kimley Horn project, and it's $10,000. And okay, so we're going to discuss that in a little bit. But David did go on recommendations from Mr. Douglas to Kimley Horn to look at that. So, so there's no action needed on this. Just per the guidelines, Weston just needed to come and explain, since we had approved it, why. I appreciate the diligence of the EDC, and I think in the end, we're going to be able to come up with a great project that everybody will be proud of. So, thank you very much. Next on the agenda is you. Discussion and possible action regarding the pool rates, including a non-resident rate.
Council, I put this together just for y'all to take a look at. I wanted to get it to you early enough in case y'all tabled it, and we wanted to do some adjustments to the May meeting. We're scheduled, we'll say scheduled, to open June the 5th at the pool. That's a pretty good guesstimation.
What did you say?
We hope.
June 5th.
June 5th. That's our projection, and we hope that will happen if it doesn't rain. But anyway, this is a proposed pool fee schedule, and the reason is between the resident and non-resident. Since the residents are paying for this pool, we feel like that the non-residents should pay a little bit more for the entrance to the pool, or pool parties, or season passes, because they're not getting taxed for the pool itself. And so it's just kind of a perk to be in the city of Clifton. You get a little bit better rate. Not much, but a little bit better rate. So we did look at West. I know West is a different pool. It's privately run, but West Pool is pretty much about double all our prices. So there's not a whole lot of pools that we can choose from, because there's just not a whole lot of pools out there. McGregor's a flat water pool that really, there's not a whole lot of amenities. They're roughly a little bit cheaper than we are, but there's no slide. It's just a diving board and a pool. kind of like what we were last year.
I tried to find, I've looked at, there's not a lot of city pools, especially not small city pools. McGregor, Comanche has a pool. Trying to think, Lampasas. I've looked at other pool prices and we might be a little above where they are. Again, I mean, we're increasing a couple of dollars, which I hate. Like, I would love to have $1 pool days, but that's not feasible. But our pool is going to be newer and nicer than every pool I saw online. It's a small town, so that comes at a cost.
It's gonna be a great amenity for the city, that's
Yeah.
for sure. I think people will be really proud of it. I figured this would probably be a hot topic for the summer, so hopefully. So if y'all just wanna look through that and say yes or no, or
We can go ahead and approve tonight, or if y'all, if you have any recommendations, but David tried to be as fair as possible.
the family passes and all the individual season passes, they're basically based on 15 entrances is what they are. So if you go more than 3 weeks, then you've got your money's worth.
When does the pool typically open? For a
It usually opens like Memorial Day weekend, and then we try to close somewhere around Labor Day if we can keep our lifeguards. So, and that's always a big if during that time because everybody's going back to school. But anyway, this year we know that it's just not feasible for us to open Memorial Day because we're going to be coming right up to that deadline to get the pool ready to go. So right now we're scheduled for June 5th.
And then days and hours, do we have those?
Days, hours will be closed on Mondays. That's just because it gives the guys time to mow, weed eat. It gives the time for the pool to rest because you need the pool chemicals to rest. The hours will be 1 to 6, and then we'll have parties after that. And it's always usually crowded 5-6 days a week.
Water aerobics?
Water aerobics. For seniors.
Senior swim is 6 to 7 still? Is that right?
We haven't decided that yet. So.
Sorry.
We haven't decided. We can.
I'm not a senior yet, so.
I mean, there's some tweaking we could possibly do in looking at some different fees, but I mean, in times, but these are pretty good. I would think these are fairly reasonable fees.
I think it looks good.
I mean, you think that we've got something for everybody this time. We've got a toddler area that has the little mushrooms and the little area they can walk through and the bubblers. And then you've got the layout area that will have actual layout chairs that sit in the water. We've got a spiral slide for some of your older, maybe your early teenagers. And then we have also still have the deep water diving board, so.
And then do you want to talk about the pavilions?
The pavilions, yes.
Bungalows.
Bungalows, the mayor and Councilwoman Kennedy has talked about bungalows and out at the pool, cabanas.
Cabanas. Okay.
And then I'll present that to you at another item on some approvals for some concrete. But what we'll do is we want to rent those out for like daytime birthday parties. And that would allow, for $25, you can come in and have cake and swim and instead of having to rent the whole pool at night.
During pool hours, so they're not having to, because sometimes they'll have 7 or 8, but then they could have the little pavilion, have the cake and everything, so.
It's just different ideas. I think we're trying to get something for everybody at the pool. And if someone wants to have a big party at night, they can still have a big party at night.
Want to talk about anything?
I said it was good.
So right now, the price is the same for resident and non-resident, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so who's gonna be tasked with asking?
Well, it's
Do
gonna
you
be,
live here or do you not
a
live
lot
here?
of it's gonna be, you know, if you're an honest person or something like that. I mean, so, you know, somebody's gonna come, I guarantee someone will say, yeah, I live here. Because you can be in Laguna Park and you think you live here. Because
A
you
lot
have
of people do.
because you have a Clifton address. Where this will affect the most is gonna be at the pool parties, because we will require a water bill when you come in. And you have to be an adult to come and make those reservations.
I just don't want to.
Bring my water bill, I still don't live here.
Well, you pay non-resident water. There's only a few of y'all out there, Tom, so.
You're allowed.
I just hate for the people, you know, that are taking the money, you know.
We're not gonna be
Policing.
policing to the point where,
Yeah.
you know, we're gonna kick some kid out because he paid $8 instead of $10, so. You know, but we do depend on people's honesty, but we realize that, you know, that it's just like anywhere you go and they ask you for, if you're non-resident or whatever, we're not gonna check an 8-year-old's driver's
That's right.
license, so.
And the parents are just gonna handle the money and say, here, go swim.
Yeah, so we do get a lot of that. We get a lot of babysitting out there. So it'll be mainly for pool parties. And Tom.
I'm not far from a senior. I got a little ways to go, but not too far.
I know.
I did put senior rates.
There are.
Okay. I move we approve the pool rates, including a non-resident rate.
I second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right, item V, discussion and possible action awarding the bid for the Olson Pool House renovation in the amount of $49,870. And these next few are actually certificate of obligation expenses.
Yes, so what I was gonna talk to y'all before we got into the COs is, I was gonna talk to you about the allocations of the COs and how they were originally allocated. When we were going through Hilltop Securities and with the S&P and all that. You had 2.33 million allocated to park improvements. You had 2.3 to water systems and 2.3 to wastewater systems. So the only thing we really plan on doing right now with the park system was the pool. So as we, right now, the total on the pool is, after, if y'all approve some of these expenses, will be $860,000. And basically what we had originally planned on, talking to y'all and talking to last council, we anticipated it was gonna be, if we were gonna do a new pool, it was gonna be about 1 million to 1.1 million. And so we feel like we have gotten something for everybody here. We've improved on everything. We're improving on the pool house, giving different amenities, and we can do the whole project for $860,000, which saves roughly, after telling y'all, about $150,000 to $200,000. And we get a nice product out of it. Now, what we do with the leftovers at the park improvements, we can transfer that money with y'all's consent over to wastewater or water. So that comes up to the $49,870. Y'all had tabled the $84,000 last time, and Councilman Qualls had stated that, you know, let's see if we can save a little money here. So basically what we did is we took the outdoor restrooms that we had presented to y'all and took those out of the equation. However, we need upgraded electric, upgraded lights, upgraded stalls. We got toilets that are you don't want to sit on. So, but there's a lot of upgrades that need to be done out there. And so we cut $34,000 off that original bid. And now it comes to the $49,870, and that would be Big Buck Services would get that quote. And if you look on the quote, it'll tell you pretty much exactly what it is. It talks about restrooms, electric, and then there's a lot of paint that needs, a lot of sandblasting and a lot of paint, and that's power washing the entire facility, and it should make it look really nice.
Whatever we do, if we do this, will it be ready for that second phase of doing public restrooms
Yes, and we can.
on the outs? I mean,
What
we're just
we're-
not doing it right now.
Correct.
But
What we're
it'll,
doing-
nothing we'll do now will prohibit that happening in the future.
Correct. Actually, what we're doing now is we will board up the old showers. So, and you won't even know the old showers are there. They'll just be behind the boards. And in the future, we can come back and phase this project in, and possibly next winter, or if y'all choose not to do it at all. And we just leave them boarded up. But yes, we can come back, and it's an easy fix once we do that. And that's kind of what we brought it to you. Yes, we could phase this, phase 1, phase 2.
Do y'all have any questions any more questions for Olson Pool House? I will say kudos to David. David brings all of us the project, and then it's allotted to us to say yes or no. So he's doing his due diligence, and we appreciate that. And this will be a nice start to the restrooms for the nice pool that we are going to have.
I'm glad all that, every foot of the wood, like what's that called? Like the trim.
Oh, the trim of the fascia board.
Fascia,
and all
yeah,
that
like,
stuff.
I mean, it's rotted
Yes, it's very.
every
long.
6 inches, so, I mean, that's just not taking care of our
Correct,
stuff,
and it's just,
so.
it's a 35-year-old structure, and it's been painted, and we can only put so much more paint on it.
And I like what you had said earlier, or the meeting before, that have this big, nice pool. And we need to have some, a little bit nicer.
At least upgraded facilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any further questions? If not, I would entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion that we award the bid for the Olson Pool House renovation in the amount of $49,870 to be paid out of CO.
Second that.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item W, discussion and possible action regarding the purchase of a lift station pump in the amount of $53,460. This will also be certificate of obligation.
Craig, you want to talk about the lift station pump real quick?
This is one of the projects that we had on the CO. Initially, we put in there that we wanted 3 of the lift station pumps. This is the pumps that lifts everything up into the sewer plant. I'm not going into more detail if you don't need to.
I'm good, I got it.
But our thoughts are is to just install 1 new pump at this time, and with the 3 oil safety switches purchased at the same time, so, because they're the safety switches are probably the weakest part that we have in the lift station system. But at this point in time, if we could get 1 lift station pump, that way we have a backup, and then we can put off the other 2 till later in the program.
And we don't have them sitting on the shelves, just waiting, so.
Because probably the newest one that we have, our plant operator, it was installed before he got there, so, I mean, it's been 10 years, so it's due for some new equipment.
Okay. Do y'all have any more questions?
Need any pictures?
Love lift station pumps. I'll make a motion. I move we approve the purchase of a lift station pump in the amount of $53,000, wait, sorry. Right, yeah.
Right.
$53,460 to be
I
paid
second.
out of the CO.
I second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Moving on to X, discussion and possible action regarding electrical at the pool in the amount of $33,252, and that will also be paid out of the certificate of obligation.
As you saw the picture of a lot of pipe in the ground, this pool originally was a single-phase pool. So now since we have 5 motors, bigger motors to the pool, we now need 3-phase wiring. So 3-phase requires bigger wire and more expensive electrical out there. So this bit basically gets the wire and over to the main motors, and it's not cheap. We were lucky that we did have 3-phase. We did not know we had 3-phase originally out there. We had to check because we were expecting it to be around 150 to 180,000. So because we were expecting to take the 3-phase about where Bosque Supply is, and it would have to come across the road. So we were fortunate enough when we found that out. It really kind of relieved me and Craig. So 33,000 sounded a whole lot better. So.
Well, I'll make a motion that we approve the electrical at the pool in the amount of $33,252 to be paid out of the CO.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Moving on to Y, discussion and possible action in regards to conducting a parking study by Kimley Horn Engineering Firm in the total amount not to exceed $10,000 to possibly be shared with the EDC in the amount of $5,000 in conjunction with the downtown parking plan.
That's a lot of words. But as Weston stated earlier, we've had an engineer do the project, and then we had another engineering firm look at it. And so what this is a third engineering firm that will actually do a downtown study to basically see if, we don't know if we need more handicap, less handicap. We don't know. We don't know if it's turning people away because of maybe we do need more handicap. But we're going to do this study. I will present, I guess am I on the agenda, Weston, for Wednesday? Tomorrow is Wednesday, yes. Thank you. So we'll talk about this with EDC. We would like to split the cost. We think it's fair if they're asking us to do a study that we split the cost with EDC. So it costs the city $5,000, it costs EDC $5,000.
Or it'll cost us 10,000 if they say no, or we say no. I guess I'm a we.
If it's a no, then we'll come back and then we can just have the discussion how y'all want to go forward with the downtown parking plan.
Okay.
Do y'all have any other questions?
About how long does the study take?
They said about a month. I mean, it's not a long study.
It's more of an economic analysis.
Yeah.
Just to see what we need in the downtown. So I've even asked the chief to take the drone up Monday through Friday, 9, noon, and 3, and just do a little drone of downtown to see on each of those days the time at 9, noon, and 3 of who we have downtown, who's actually parked in the handicap spots, I know that I drove down there the other morning and I could almost not get through. There was a truck parked and he had not pulled up enough, and it was rough. And for somebody not as expertise as I, there might have been a little more of a problem. So there is definitely a need, and this is from the person that worked and had the engineers design what we have today. So I did some reminiscing. I pulled the file last week, the 1997 file of the downtown project, and reminisced on the cost of concrete then. So anyway, I think that would be good for us to look at. And maybe we can even use this economic analysis for other things. The EDC might even be able to use it for some different things. So,
I put the study, what they were going to do, in your packet, so it was just kind of laid out what they were looking at. It's hard to analyze shoppers' habits, but they can talk about, look at, okay, during this time, we got this much traffic, this much, where are they going into? So it'll be a good analysis to have.
Well, it sounds like they're gonna look at peak times. They're gonna talk to the business owners to see who parks down there, which is good. I feel like, yeah, that'll be good. And then they'll have questions that they'll give, so. Okay.
do y'all have any other questions? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
I move that we approve parking study to be conducted by Kimlinghorn Engineering Firm in the total amount not to exceed $10,000 to be shared with the EDC in the amount of $5,000 in conjunction with the downtown parking plan.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Let me ask if we can revise that just a little bit. We would ask the EDC for up to $5,000 since we don't know, and it would just be a reimbursement. So can we just reword that a little?
Okay. I move we approve a parking study to be conducted by Kimlinghorn Engineering Firm in the total amount not to exceed $10,000 to be shared with the EDC in the amount of up to $5,000 in conjunction with the downtown parking plan.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Moving on to item number Z. Discussion and possible action regarding additional flat work, chemical soil stabilization injections, and 840 square feet of synthetic turf at the pool in the amount of $70,230 to be paid out of our certificate of obligation.
What this is, council, when we usually have large projects, we did not consider any contingencies. It was just a straight out quote or bid. And so as we got into the build, we realized, okay, we need concrete over here. We need to stabilize the pool here. And this was all done before our engineer study. So the engineers have suggested we need to have it stabilized underneath the concrete of the pool. We don't want the pool sinking over time. So, and then we also, a council member and the mayor approached me about some pergolas or gazebos or whatever. So this will include the extra concrete work to go ahead and get those poured. Because as you saw, you don't want to have a concrete truck run over those pipes to pour additional concrete in the future. So we need to put out as much concrete as we think we are going to need out there. Also around the pump, what is it, Craig, like pump room? It's not really a pump room, it's just where all your pumps and all your mechanical area. It was kind of wide open, and we don't want kids running in and out of there. So basically what this does, it'll put a brick wall around it, and that way in the future, Craig and them could come in and actually cover some of it so we can store our chemicals in there. We don't want kids going in and out of there. So, and this will allow Councilman Kennedy to paint a nice scene on it.
A mural.
A mural.
Yes, a mural.
A scene.
A scene. But anyway, and we also, there was some concrete. It was roughly around the same price. The turf came in just a little bit more, but we just thought it'd be an added amenity to have artificial turf that we could possibly put beanbag toss on it, something for the kids, or just something extra for anybody to do. And you could put your toddler on almost 1,000 square feet of synthetic grass.
Where,
It'll be over by the big pavilion.
between the pool,
Between the pool, the pavilion that's already there, and then over towards the diving board area.
okay.
And it's roughly 840 square feet. So that'll be, it's just a nice area that you can, it's not grass, but it's nice for the feet. And I just thought it would look nicer and just give it an added amenity to the pool. So that's in the amount of the 70,000, and what did it say, $70,230. I did tell y'all that if y'all elect to go ahead and do all this, roughly comes out about $860,000, and we feel like we are coming under budget on that project.
I make a motion that we approve additional flat work, chemical soil stabilization injections, and 840 square feet of synthetic turf at the pool in the amount of $70,230 to be paid out of the CO.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right, we've been through the alphabet, and now we're at AA, and at the end. So, discussion and possible action regarding the input and approval of the new employee handbook pending the attorney's input. I have been asked by the Councilman Qualls, who could not be here tonight, if we could possibly table this till next month. He wanted to be here during the discussion, and he is traveling for work. So I don't know if y'all have any input that you would like to add or discuss tonight.
I'm good with tabling.
You good with waiting?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've waited this long. I think another month isn't going to hurt us. So, I think it's just good if we can have a good quality discussion, and I think there were some questions on some of the policies in there, and he being an HR background would be able to get some good input.
So if everyone's okay with it, I would entertain a motion just to table until our May meeting.
I'll move to table action discussion regarding the approval of new employee handbook. Input.
And I second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Next, I would entertain a motion to adjourn at 7:48.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Second. I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. We will adjourn